Okay, Slim Solar making another short video. So we're at a undisclosed site that we're working on. So this site has two MPP solar inverters. Here's one, there's two. So I had to do some research because I looked online, I've scoured the internet, I've even went on solar forums, particularly one that's called DIY Solar Forum, I believe, by a well-known YouTuber, solar guy that does a lot of videos. And I posted about running these two guys in parallel, split phase, so it could both put out 120 or 240, and it shears the current and it provides 240 in the panel. Well, I could not get an answer from how to wire it up, so I did some research and troubleshooting. So for anybody that has these two devices and they want to run them both to get 240, you have to hook them up with the hot one, hot two, your neutral. So you have your neutral here with the white, you have your red, and you have your black, and you have your ground. That's the way you have to wire them on both panels, on both, I should say, inverters. So you have your green, your black, your red, and your white. And then it gets wired, comes into the panel here. So this is what I found out that no one was able to tell me. Both reds have to go into what you call a distribution block, and the blacks go into a distribution block, and then that gets wired. So this is still in the test phase, so I'm gonna put a red tape on this one because this is what they have, and that's black. And then both neutrals are going to be wired in there eventually, and the grounds. So once you do that and you program each of these guys in setting 28, you have to set them at A2. Both of them have to say that on their screen. A2. Once you do that and you connect the shared current cables and the DB9 pin cables, once those are connected, as you can see here, and look in the manual because it'll tell you how to connect them. Very straightforward. Once you do that and you fire them up, they both will come online. As you can see, it says inverting. The solar is not hooked up yet, so we're working on that. Inverting. This will run, so when you put your meter here, you'll have 240. And the current will be sharing, and it'll work. So for the longest time, I had a hard time getting that information. So as you can see here, we are going to, so if I can do this while I'm recording and not get shocked. It shows 230 right there. So you're getting 230 on both legs, and it's shearing the current. So that's how I figured it out. So I want to pass this information on to somebody else who may not have known how to configure both these. And these are older, they're LV5048s, but they run great. They're workhorses, and that's what the customer has. So we got to work with what they have. So I couldn't find any information, so it's through trial and error that I found out how to get these to work. So they both give off, or they both deliver 5,000 watts. So both of them to combine together, it'll be 10,000 watts in this electrical panel, and then I'll put 10,000 watts in the house. But that was the key right there. Putting both reds from both inverters putting them into a distribution block, and both blacks, which are both hots, into a distribution block, and from there you wire up, give my camera angle, both of them, and now we have 240, as you can see on the meter, coming into the panel. So yeah, we're gonna button this up pretty soon, so we're in the final stages of getting that done. So here are the batteries. There's 5 of them. Life Power 4 and an EG4LL, but they're all 52 or 48 volts, 5,120 watt hours. So they have about 25 kilowatt hours or 400 or 500 amp hours. There is the shunt meter that's telling you what it's reading right now. And we have a Class D fuse for the positive. And then when we get into this box here, we have a 200 amp breaker that's wired into them. And there's the bus bars on both sides. Later we'll put something that, you know, goes through and divides them, but for now we're still working. As you can see, there's one wire wave, and then the other one that we've buttoned up, which is to get solar into here. And they also have this that we're going to wire some of the solar panels into, so this will be able to talk to the batteries directly through the connections. But this is an EG4 product. Those are EG4 batteries, and this will be able to charge those batteries based on state of charge by percentage, so you'll know at all times what the percentage charge of those batteries are. And these basically would just be the workhorse or the inverting power. This is just an MPPT controller charger for the batteries. These are the inverting power. There will be some that gets connected here, and those will be set on a voltage charge, but that was key right there. I had a hard time figuring that out, and nobody was able to help me. So I'm making this video because I know how frustrating it can be to get these, because when I had them wired, I was putting them straight into the breaker, and I was getting an overload or voltage thing, so it wouldn't work. So the key is they have to be joined together first. Then, by putting both L2s of both inverters into one portion of the distribution block, and then the L1s into the other portion of the distribution block, which condenses it down from 4 wires to 2 wires. And then you just connect them into the electrical panel. By the way, this is a totally off-grid setup. There is no electrical from any poles or anything. This is way out, like I said, an undisclosed area where we are way in the sticks. So just another video updating and making and letting you know how I figured it out, and should be wiring it up and buttoning it up pretty soon. So that's Sleem Solar signing off.